always had an obsession with farming games, farming in games, literally anything related to farming in games, I'm there. And The Sims has an entire farming pack. And I know I have built so many farmhouses in this game, but I'm gonna do it again because I feel like every couple of months I need my farmhouse fix. Ugh, I also just opened my game and I got this pop-up that says, remember me, discover new experiences with my first pet stuff pack. This feels like a threat. Remember me? Yes, I could not forget. Okay, so here's the plan. I just got back from like a week-long trip to England visiting my husband's family, and I am very much in my farmhouse era, but also in my British farmhouse era. So I think we should build something in Henford-on-Bagley. Look at this style of house. Like, is this not the cutest thing you have literally ever seen? So I want to build something like this. Maybe we could have a horse, maybe we could have cows. I want to build like a serious farmhouse lot, but with the house part being kind of small and most of the focus being on the farm. Unfortunately, I am gonna get rid of these people because I want a 40 by 30 lot for this. I always feel bad evicting the default townies, and I think that the Henford-on-Bagley default lots are some of my favorite ones in the entire game, so I feel extra bad bulldozing them, but I want to build something too. Okay, let's try to envision how this lot is gonna get laid out for a second, because I'm picturing that there will be a house, maybe somewhere right here. Again, probably really small, right in the front of the lot. Maybe there could be a greenhouse somewhere in the back, and then possibly like a barn or a stable over there in the corner. So we can do a lot of our plants here and then have some horse space over here. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fit horses and cows and chickens because the cow stuff is pretty big too. At least the chicken coop is only small, so that part shouldn't be too much of an issue. When I was envisioning this in my head, I was like, maybe I could have a pond too. No, I don't know if we're gonna have all of those things. I don't know if we can have all of the above. Let me start figuring out the outside of this, okay? Oh, I kind of like that with the reddish color. Is that good? Because maybe we could have a sort of reddish colored tile roof too. I think I might want to make this like perhaps one tile wider because it's kind of small. It's a very little house. I also want to have chimneys on either side, kind of like this. And when I say a kind of reddish colored tile roof, I don't know, I was kind of thinking something like that because I like how it matches. We could also potentially do the thatched roofs that come with this pack, but I almost would rather try something like this. Oh my god, of course, this thing doesn't even come in the same colors. I will never understand this. They gave us all these different roof swatches, and then we also got this item from For Rent, except this does not have the same roof swatches. Why? It's the same roof. It has a lot of the same roof swatches, just not all of the same roof swatches. It's nonsense. It like seriously makes no sense to me. Anyway, I'm sorry for going on and on. I'm actually gonna put some wisteria on this build. I kind of love the idea of there being a little bit of it. And then I was kind of picturing that this part would be more of a sunroom in this little area. So I might do those like that. And then maybe we could have a slight bump out back here. I don't know. I really hadn't thought this part through that much. I kind of like the idea of making my own little patio space like this. I realize this might be kind of a weird shape, but wouldn't that be cool if we had a little private patio? And then there could be a side door back here so they could get out from there somehow. Are those the same height? No. If I do it like this, that's perfectly even with the front of the house. So maybe the side door should go there instead. And you know what? I actually don't really use this wisteria all that often. I've always felt like I didn't really know how to put it together. I guess I mean I sort of felt like I was bad at it, so I kind of just like didn't really ever use it, but it does look cool. Okay, so on this part, I'll probably put some sort of little trim, and that's kind of all I was picturing for the exterior of this building. I know it's very simple. It's also very small, but that's also by design. And then we just paint it somehow with some sort of stone. I don't really like that roof. Do I use the red roof? I think so. I don't know what has come over me, but I also kind of want to have like a little rounded front porch. That's probably too big, right? To do the front porch like that. It looks good though. I wish that we had sort of like a reddish foundation color. I guess it's non-existent. Yikes, the side of this looks so bad. I'm trying to add in some extra wisteria and stuff because I think that that will help it, but I also am not really very good at this. This is the fence that comes in cottage living, which weirdly is like so green. I know that's on purpose because they've got it like kind of mossy, but it looks weird when I try and use it. I think I want to scoot the house back a little bit. It probably won't be this terrain paint, okay? But sort of what I want to do is have a terrain paint that goes like this and is like coming off to the side. I want there to be like a side entrance. It also maybe doesn't have to be terrain paint. It's possible, oh dear. It maybe does have to be terrain paint because I don't want to have a single tile wide walkway. I was gonna say I could do an actual tile path, but that looks bad. Do you think it's weird to have two different walls? Because I really want to use that little wooden one, but it's probably better to have the stone wall everywhere, right? Or at least everywhere in the front. Oh, cute, it comes in the same color. Okay, so I'll use that one there. And then this part is the barn. So I was kind of envisioning having doorways like this. I don't really know what kind of barn it's gonna be. I think I'll probably just try to match it to what we've used so far. Oh, well, that's a little bit ugly. I don't know what to do. Yeah, that's definitely a barn. Okay, maybe it could be white though. Maybe I should have just done a stable instead of having a barn door because that might look better. Or wait. I could potentially add the stable onto the side of the barn. This has to be like kind of long. Yeah, that's not, I don't really know if that looks very good. It's kind of random. Do the columns not even come in the same wood color? This is so, every time I look at swatches from like anything in any of the Sims packs, I'm always like shocked. I mean, it's not the cutest thing in the world, but it is a barn and there's like a covered little stable part, which is also good. I take it back. I don't like it. Wow, the jumps actually take up so much space. I want to have both of them, but I don't think I was really prepared for them to be as big as they are, which is silly of me, because it's not like I've never played The Sims 4 before. I know how big they are. I do actually quite like them on a diagonal like this. It's kind of different with this being the layout for all of the farm animals. The cow kind of cuts into this space, but I think that's probably fine, right? I may use the horse ranch fence instead. Oh, that's taller than I thought it was. Yikes, that really bothers me. I like how the horse ranch fence is bigger though. Like that's actually really cool with the giant gate right there. I'm gonna save, because I haven't saved yet. We've made some good progress. I always build these farmhouses and I spend all this time thinking about gameplay and how it's gonna function in gameplay, when in reality, farming barely works in The Sims. I always want it to work, and it never quite does. This is, of course, hugely disappointing to me because I love the idea of farming in this stupid game so much. Is this the right size? Oh no, mine is way too big. Well, I'll make it smaller. I'm already using so many packs. This is the country kitchen kit, and I just put that on the floor of this room. Okay, I'm switching the barn over. I feel like it might be better if it was wooden. I think like color scheme wise, that probably looks better across the whole build. And now I'm gonna think floor plan real quick on the inside of this house because I haven't actually done that at all. I've been so busy with like the floor plan of the farm that we didn't even touch this part. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm picturing for upstairs. It's 3 bedrooms up here. One of them has an ensuite bathroom and then 2 are kind of tiny kids room type spaces. And then downstairs, we're gonna want to make sure we have at least 1 extra bathroom somewhere. Not exactly sure where that is gonna be yet. We'll figure that out. We need to have like a big bathroom that everybody can use downstairs. Oh, these are in the wrong place. Let me scoot you over. Okay, so I was picturing that this part could become sort of like the kitchen. We'll have everybody walk into a living room that'll be right here, and we'll kind of organize this around a fireplace. Hopefully that fits. Oh, the windows are bad. Uh-oh. Is there any small fireplaces? No. We do have these little guys, but those are kind of ick. So I don't know, we'll figure it out, but we're gonna organize the living room right here. I'll probably put a smaller window in this space because this is gonna be the kitchen. We'll do something kind of like that for the kitchen layout. Obviously I'll put a stove once we're done. And then I'm wondering, maybe this becomes a small little dining room right here. We can just put a small table in there. They can also have access to the bathroom, the downstairs bathroom from there. And then this could be like a games room kind of thing. So that feels like a decent layout. It's a 3-bed, 2-bathroom house. I don't know if I like that brick, but I think that the reddish color is kind of a cool accent with the reddish roof. I'm gonna work on the outside a tiny bit because I feel like once we have some landscaping in, it'll all kind of make more sense. I feel like this sort of half-finished state that we're in right now is not helping because it's hard to visualize what I'm talking about when you're looking at it like this. So I want to try to fill it in with some more stuff just so you can kind of get a better idea of what I'm talking about. And that's going to require us putting a lot of plants around the place. I am literally obsessed with cottage living. Like coming in here and using cottage living debug is my favorite thing in the entire world. I just love getting to use all these things. The plants are the best. They are the best plants in the entire game. Even like some of these little things, these are just like random low grasses, but I think that helps to fill in some of the space that we maybe can't put anything in. Like some of these places where I won't have a ton of landscaping of my own, I can just pile up some of that. I might stick a bunch of these on this porch for a second so I can grab more later. This is all because I don't have any mods installed. If I would just get over myself and use the Better Build By mod, I could like copy and paste things from debug and use the eyedropper tool. But instead, I sit here and I build mod lists, and so we have to take precautions like this. I tend to prefer to use very little mods in my content just so it's more easily followed by the average person, because I understand a lot of us are really heavily into The Sims and we know about mods, but not everybody is. And also a lot of people watching this video right now are playing on console and they can't get mods at all. So I kind of try intentionally to use limited mods or like no mods, especially in building, because then everybody can follow it more easily. Okay, I guess I'm putting the horse's bed just in the corner. I don't really know. And I was planning on using this little section as a place for the horse to come walk and get food. And I think I'll stick the horse's water just over here. We also, I almost forgot about this. We're gonna need to have a horse ball. Maybe I'll put that kind of in this corner. A soccer ball, or should I say a football, because it's a British house. Okay, we're kind of trying to figure out the garden situation now. Okay, this part is probably not the most ideal because those are growing like in the shade underneath a tree, but it's The Sims, so like that's fine, right? I do that a lot when I build farmhouses in this game. I kind of just do what I want with the landscaping, even though it makes no sense. So here I am again with my nonsense. You're gonna have to just forgive me. Oh, you know what? I'm actually gonna put these little monkey bars out here. I feel like that's really cute. I think I also want to put a little floor trim on the outside of this part. I love this rounded porch. I think that's so nice. Ignore all these extra plants, okay? We've got all of the biggest plants added now. So what I'm doing next is going through and getting any smaller, like low-lying plants, and then we'll go back through and I'll add any flowers that we want to have. It's kind of like a multi-step process for me when I landscape like this, but it does always fill in the lot really nicely. I think I won't put any there. I want to get some over here. Probably not too much because that is clipping into the cow's space quite a bit. I'm also kind of clipping into the chicken space, but I think that should fit fine. I want to get that same trim on the front porch section. And then I probably should pick out some lights real quick too. Cottage living has such a beautiful like kind of golden lantern. I don't really know where to put that though and have it not be weird. Maybe I should just do lights on the floors because wherever I try and put it, I think it's too tight, especially with our wisteria, because I've put it just above the door in the past. But I don't really want to put a gas lantern in the middle of a ton of plants. I guess this does say it's an electric lantern, but I don't know. Still feels wrong to be putting that there. Okay, I kind of love this sort of light pink. I think that matches the window tone really well. So I'm gonna put a few of these little plants everywhere. Oh, I forgot about the plants over here. Oh my God. Whenever I do landscaping like this, I always miss parts. There's always like something else that I have to go back and add in. Okay, I think we're done with all the landscaping. I've got the flowers everywhere, and normally I would never advise you do this because of all of the terrain paint glitches, but I'm gonna do terrain paint next. I have so many issues with terrain paint just like deleting itself and disappearing, so I usually do it last on purpose just in case. I think the terrain paint bugs usually show up when you reload the lot. So you might have an issue like coming back into the build the next day and then the terrain paint just all being gone that you spent all this time on. But hopefully I won't have to close my game and reopen it in the middle of this build. I have been having some PC issues recently, so I suppose anything could happen, but fingers crossed it ends up fine. The terrain paint's just such a massive part of this one that I want to do it now because then I can actually see what it's gonna look like, because I want to see how the pathways are gonna turn out and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of terrain paint underneath all of these dirt sections, and then I'll probably put some terrain paint underneath this too. And then I think I was kind of picturing having like some sort of little curvy pathway. I don't know if I even like that. Sometimes when I'm doing these things, I like to try and layer the terrain paint on top of even these paths. I think that helps blend it in better. And maybe I'll put a light on the doorway too. Does that look weird? Maybe at the top. I don't know. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a custom dirt path in the front. I think I shall fill in like all of this section with dirt. Oh, can you not? Oh my God, rounded paths are so annoying. I can't fill in that section. I literally can't paint there. There's just green that I can't do anything about. Okay, well, I'm gonna paint all in this part too. I know this looks really weird, so just bear with me. I swear it's gonna be fine when I'm done. I've been doing this when I've been putting horse ranch stuff down recently because I like to try and make it look more substantial. And then what I do is I just go in with a darker terrain paint and I kind of paint it around the edges because I think it makes it look kind of cool and it has more dimension this way. So I'll do that same thing around this part of the path as well. I think I like that. front. It looks good from the front. I don't really know how to like fade this out because I want it to go back into grass behind that fence. Oh, I also need to get a trash can. I might even just put that up close to the front. Although I don't really want that right in the front of the house. Never mind. Sorry, I don't know what I was talking about just then. Put that in the back of the house. I put a little purple doormat to match the wisteria. I think I want to get a rocking chair too. I feel like this is a nice place to bring in some more of that wood color in the front. So I'll put that on the front porch. Okay, are we good with the exterior? Like, is that everything I wanted to do outside? I'm gonna move inside for a little bit. Oh, great. My plants are clipping. I think I will start in the bathrooms, mostly just because the bathrooms bore me the most. I don't really find decorating bathrooms in this game to be fun, so I'm just gonna do it, get it over with, and then we can do the fun part. Okay, so this is what I've got for the first bathroom downstairs. I think I'll put a shower in the upstairs bathroom, but I wanted to have a bathtub down there just in case you have like a dog or a toddler or something. You're all about to get so mad at me because I'm gonna do it again. I'm putting another desk in this hallway with a computer on it. I know I do this like all the time in my Sims builds, and everybody always laughs at me. In my humble opinion, I think this makes so much sense. Not every house has room for like a dedicated office space, and this way everybody in the household can use the computer easily, and you need computers so much in The Sims. I feel like I'm doing this whole thing backwards because I'm doing the outside first, and now I'm doing the upstairs first. But I'm gonna do the upstairs bedrooms now. We have a lot of cute like little animal rugs. I think this would be so adorable to make like a nursery with or something. So I'm gonna decorate this room for a baby. Look at that though, with the little horse rug and the cute green accents. We can maybe even have a pretty greenish wallpaper like this. Let me know if you also have this problem, but my issue is that I literally adore decorating nurseries in The Sims, but I hate playing with infants in The Sims. I don't always hate playing with infants, but I feel like I hate playing with infants most of the time. And that's just because you need a lot of time and like dedicated energy to raise an infant. And I usually have like 6 Sims in my household, so I just get quite overwhelmed trying to take care of them. Makes no sense because me having 6 Sims sounds like it should be easy because I've got all these extra Sims to help me, but no, it doesn't help. You need like 6 adults to raise an infant. And then if they've got a job or something, forget about it. It's really hard. It's a lot of work. I know the Sims team did that on purpose because they're trying to make it more similar to real life babies, but I don't know. Sims infants are a lot. It's a lot to handle. Okay, I want to get some of the little base game clutter that looks like it belongs to babies. Some of this stuff, like little diaper items. I also, wait, I love this thing. Maybe I should have used that. Oh, see, that's cute for the nursery. I think I might leave it like this too and not overdo it. And then maybe this room should be decorated for a child because we have the playground equipment outside. Cottage Living has one of my favorite kids' room wallpapers. I think that this is so cute. I'm like genuinely obsessed with the little bunnies on it. So maybe we could try and mix and match some of that like reddish color. Although, oh, I don't know. Maybe we should stick to blue. Maybe that's a safer bet. There is green. The green matches the leaves. Okay, this is what I've got for that kids' room upstairs. I want to use this wallpaper. I always forget about this one, so I'm gonna try and find a way to make it work in the dining room. I also have to pick something for this little hallway. I don't really know what I want. Do those look weird together? This rug and that chair? I don't think so. I also put a thermostat in the hallway, and then in the primary bedroom, I really want to use the horse ranch stuff. I know I use these beds all the time, but genuinely like the horse ranch beds are some of the best beds in the game. And this one is like the exact right color theme. Do you think if I put a fireplace in this room, I'll regret it? Because it's a little bit tight. Like it's kind of hard to walk around all that, but the blue ties in the blue on the bed, and this rug kind of brings it all together too. And then we could get like maybe a darker blue on the wall. Oh, sorry, that was a good idea in theory, but maybe not so good in practice. We even have this reddish color, but that's also bad. Do we do green? Like maybe like a light kind of sagey green? I'm also not sure if these blinds are ugly or not. I feel like I can acknowledge that they sort of are. Oh, that color kind of matches. Okay, that works. Do these come in the same color? I like how that has kind of that like purpley reddish color. And then maybe we could find a mirror, like a full-length mirror somewhere. I've been using that Jungle Adventure mirror like pretty much everywhere these days again. I had a phase where I kind of stopped using it, but I'm back in it. I've been putting that thing all over the place. I wonder if there's like a little ottoman or like a poof or something. I don't really want a wide one, but I might put just a small one somewhere. Of course, that's the wrong color. That is the right color. Maybe I could stick that in the corner. Can they still walk past that? I honestly don't know. I don't really care. They can scoot if they have to. If they can't get onto that side of the bed, they can just like climb across it. It's honestly their own fault if they can't get onto that side of the bed. So why should I be helping them? Okay, that's actually kind of a cute room. I like the upstairs of this place. Now we simply have the entire downstairs and also the barn and the patio left to furnish. I'm gonna do the kitchen first. I have been looking forward to this kitchen space. I think I will put this thing right here, and then maybe I'll put a trash can underneath it. Oh no, you know what I'll put underneath it? Pet bowls. Those actually fit perfectly in this little nook, and then it looks like it's on purpose, and they kind of come in that deep reddish color, so that's good. I don't really know about the cabinets. I kind of wish we had that reddish color to use. Am I being so silly? Why can I not see? Oh, there, sorry. I was like, I can't find the kit counters. I was looking everywhere. I wasn't looking everywhere, clearly, because I looked right past them. All the colors are bad. I don't like any of them. I will use that same stone floor again, because I do like that stuff. Let's use the beautiful fridge. We can put this one kind of in the corner, and then I can put the trash can next to it, because that fits fine. I don't really like this stove. Whenever I try and use it, I don't think it looks very good, but I'll probably do it anyway. And then I can put a little dishwasher next to it too. Although, is that weird? I am in my overthinking era again, clearly. I'm being like so dramatic about this. I do like how this looks. Maybe I'll get a microwave, and then I can just put some clutter on the one counter. When I have debug on, I get so mad because I can't find anything I'm looking for. I just want a fruit bowl. But with debug, there's like so many random things to scroll past. Okay, that's fine. And then they can cook right there, so that also is fine. I don't love the color of the wood. Oh, wait a minute. Does that kind of like tie it all together though? Because that gets some of the bluish color and it kind of has that greenish color. I don't know if that looks okay with the stone. Wait a minute. I think we did it. I think that's what it needs to look like. Okay, the kitchen is officially all set. I feel like that's perfect. I think I might regret the wallpaper choice in this room. I can admit it's a lot. Okay, but I really deep in my heart really want to use it. I never use this wallpaper. It's fun to have an excuse to try. Even if it is kind of ick, it's still fun. I don't really know what rug to put. Maybe that one. I want to put one of those, like this sort of thing in here. We could probably put that up against this little wall. Then we try and find some artwork to put in a few places, like something right there. And maybe there could be a little chair in the corner. I don't really know what chair. Just some sort of decorative cute chair in the corner. How about this one? Because it has like a little white, that version. Okay. Yeah, that's not really as cute as I thought it was gonna be when I was first envisioning the room. I had in my head like a way cuter vibe for that. It's not bad though. Okay, I scooted the windows over just like the teeniest, tiniest little bit, and I think that was worth it because now I can actually fit this fireplace in here, and I could potentially scoot them back a tiny bit more. Oh, it does not like doing that. Do I still put a TV up there? Yeah, that's fine. This horse ranch rug I think is too modern. Oh, that might help bring the colors in. Okay. This wallpaper is like kind of beige, kind of pink, which is sort of what's happening on the outside of the house. It's kind of beige, kind of pink. Is this what's clipping? You can't even fix that. If the wisteria is the problem, I can't move it so it doesn't clip anymore. So what, I just accept that it clips? Oh my God. There are some parts of this game that are like so unbearable to me sometimes. This is one of those times with the clipping, I actually cannot handle that. I think I want to do the horse ranch leather sofa. I almost called it an iron sofa. I don't know, I was gonna be like, I want to get the horse ranch iron sofa. I don't even know what that means. I kind of wish I could have a piano. I wonder if I could put that in this room, because we were gonna make this room into like generic skill building, cozy nook, games room, everything all in one in this space. I kind of want to put a card table too. I say this like every single time I build a space like this in The Sims, but this sunroom reminds me so much of my grandma, and she and I play so many card games together. It's like basically non-stop board games at grandma's house, and she has kind of a sunroom like this at her place, and she has a little table, and she spends basically all of her time sitting at that little table. So whenever I see a sunroom, I think of my grandma and like her little card table by the windows. I wonder if we could put the bonsai tree too, because that's kind of fun for skill building also. So you can play your cards, you can play the piano, and maybe I'll put like some dog toys in this room. I don't always put a dog bed in the houses where I give them stuff for a dog. I'm actually curious what your thoughts on that are, because sort of in my mind, when I've got a dog in The Sims, I don't really like how the dog beds look because they're kind of flat. And also, I prefer for them to sleep just like on the couch or on the bed with my sim. So I don't always put a dedicated dog bed. I am literally so sorry about this because I know I've been doing it in like every single build recently, but look at how cute that looks. with the built-in bookshelves. I keep putting these underneath windows next to this exact same fireplace, but I think it's so pretty. I know I have a problem. I just can't stop. Oh, what if we did them in red? Oh my gosh, that's like 10 times cuter. Okay, let's stick to that. And I just had a whole speech about how I don't like the dog beds, but what, oh, that one's too big. But what if I did give him a little dog bed? Because that one does fit. And now we're gonna have to alt place some decor on top of these bookshelves, including like a little lamp. I love the book nook kit. I'm serious. This is like the cutest thing in the entire world. I'm gonna put that chess table on this also. Okay, I've got a few little things like plants and decor. Now I'm gonna go through and find every little bit of cottage living decor that I wanna use. Should I put this big farm thing? Why not? Let's put that outside. We also have like Yeehaw cottage living artwork. Let's put that. Oh, the blankets. Oh, maybe that's better than the dog bed, because it takes up more space and it's also not completely flat like the dog bed is. That's probably nicer. Do you think putting that thing on the wall is weird? I don't know. Is it also weird to put the egg thing in the living room? Because I kind of want to. I would personally. I do this all the time as well, where I put this little thing like right next to one of the couches, but it's got magazines in it. Oh, I should have put this in the baby's room. That's helpful. All right, I think that honestly is the inside of the house done. That just leaves us with literally everything else left to do. So I'm gonna start with the greenhouse, I think. I really don't want to overdo this because I want it to stay functional. Like my number one biggest thing is that I really still want it to be a functional farmhouse. And so you need the greenhouse stuff to be kind of far spaced. They're kind of weird about it. They get kind of strange trying to use a lot of this stuff sometimes. So make sure they've got ample space to walk around and like get to everything, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I also hate the lights. Do you think if I just put two of them like right there, it'll be fine? And I don't want to do anything else. I need it to still be functional. So I'm gonna leave it kind of blank like this. We probably want to get a couple extra things for the horse. I don't really know what I'm building in here. I feel like the horse is gonna be weird about coming into this space. What if I build it out as more of a corner? We can just let this be nothing. It's okay to have spaces with nothing in The Sims. Is there just like a barrel? I guess we could put a couple of barrels in the corner of this room. I think these are supposed to be like barrels if you're making nectar, but I'm gonna use them more like barrels so it looks like I've got a barn. I also kind of forgot that we're gonna need to have grasses down. Like if you want to play with horse ranch, you kind of need prairie grass, but that should be fine. There's a couple little patches of it. Oh wait, should I have tried to build like a basement? If I put that there, are you seriously gonna go all the way across the whole thing? Are you kidding me? Just because I want it in the back corner? This is so annoying. So extremely annoying. I'm like trying to not delete the tree by accident too. Okay, well just imagine this for a second. I've now built more of a dedicated space for the horse inside of here. I'll put a basement in the corner, but we could put a whole nectar making space down there. That might be super cool. I gave us some horse awards too, which should help. Okay, so I finished this upstairs space. I'm doing the downstairs now. All I know is I really want to have the wine making stuff. We're also gonna need a bunch of places to store all of it. It's nice to do this in the basement because believe it or not, it actually ages better in the basement. So like it'll age faster down here. So we could get like a little corner of nectar racks. It might even make it really weirdly shaped. How many is too many? I don't know. I don't know. I don't usually play with the nectar making this much. Like I've used the nectar making a fair bit, but it's either I'm playing rags to riches, so I'm only nectar making, or I'm doing it like casually as a hobby and I only need a couple nectar racks. I think most people probably do not need this many of them if they're gonna play with that pack, but hey, it's nice to have. And I think with that, the house maybe is done. I think this is pretty cute. And unfortunately, you can't even see the horse stuff because the tree blocks it. Henford Horse Cottage. It's 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So if you're playing with horse ranch and cottage living, this is like your place to have all of the stuff that you need. And I think it's really pretty from the outside. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I think on that note, I'm probably gonna end this video right here because I have been going on and on for far too long. Thank you for indulging me with my silly little British farmhouse fantasies. And I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow, okay? Bye, everybody. Oh my gosh, my cat Snap just slept right next to me on her tree the entire time we built this. She's just so peaceful.